Okay, digital records and the writing on the wall. Let's talk about it quickly. The writing on the wall. What I'm talking about is subject matter that was done um, very intelligently by the one Panic some years ago. All right, and he was talking about Egypt. He was talking about the hieroglyphs, and he was talking about the instructions that the Egyptians left in stone for to be deciphered, to be easily deciphered for generations to come. All right. And what I remember about that lecture is Panic saying that nowhere were they teaching the people of that time, what you would call black people. You know, I know my skin color is I'm brown, but it's another video. Were there any instructions about finance, about global marketing systems, and things of that such? It's like there was one persistent theme um, in the list of instructions interpreted by the hieroglyphs. You know how to get out of here and not to come back. Now, the link for that discussion will be it's not the link for that will be in the description when I find it. Okay, that's going to take me a while to find it because I have to go back through some of his lectures. It's a lecture I hadn't seen for a while. It is in my playlist, but you know, if you're familiar with Panic or Hemet or Valentine, when they do a lecture, it could be anywhere from 6 to 12 hours in a shot. So a lot of their lectures that are listed in my playlist is only the small percent that I saved, but it's still a lot of lectures in that playlist, and each one of them are 9 to 12 hours. You know, some of them are in short clips, you know, that somebody cut up or whatever and posted, but most of those are 9, 12 hour lectures. You know, that I've listened to several times over years, going back to the MySpace mode. For those of you who remember MySpace, all right. These were instructions on how to break this cycle, this Earth Moon cycle, esoterically. All right. And it's important not for me to discuss in great detail here because he already did it, and that's his work. We don't do that here. But there's a bunch of you guys who have never even heard of him and would benefit from those lecture series. So when I find it, if I find it in the next hour, or if it takes me all week to go through some of those lectures to get it out, I'll post that. The digital record. It's really what I wanted to talk about tonight because you know I'm noticing that when we were in school, we had penmanship. We learned cursive to write in cursive. You write your alphabet standard, and then you learn how to write in script. It's not being taught anymore, and we're moving further away from handwritten stuff to type and everything to now text and everything, and there's this push away from things recorded on paper. We're recording things digitally now. Everything is YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I get it. This is an opinion. This is sort of a what if. I like to say why, but what if? Since coming out of college, and very, very heavy now, everything is online. All of the things that are discussed are online. I didn't take any of this information and all of the books that I've read, going back from Behold the Pale Horse, etc., to Yurugu, a European critique on African critique on European thought. It's all of these books that we got from college that we passed on, and books that Bobby, have and Dr. Phil Valentine suggested that we read and stuff like that. We're talking about on videos later on and mixing the information and some of the stuff that we're talking about, giving them full credit as we often do. But these are digital records. It's a digital time. and it's like an assembly line to draw you in, to draw you in, to draw you in digitally, to draw you in digitally. There are these new glasses, and my age is gonna show. It's 50. A couple weeks. Oculus, I think those are the name of the glasses. And drawing you into a digital web. The words are the words mean what they mean. Um, Caution, right? A lot of you guys. I got stuff showing in my feeds of these people running in the walls and stuff because of the stuff that they're seeing in these glasses. And so drawing you in. Facebook's going to a whatever they call that verse. You know what it is. Facebook with the micro whatever verse is going to be the new thing to live out activities, have meetings and stuff in an alternate reality. Careful, be careful. Dick Gregory said it best. And once you put on those universal glasses, or once the universe puts those universal glasses on you, you can't really unseen what you've been seeing. And we dance around stuff because if we actually talked about, in my case, and I have not yet, just because I haven't been comfortable enough to talk about a lot of the experiences from hard grounding, hard sun gazing, fasting, meditation, to zero thought. Those are going to be very interesting topics, and I do them this way, but these is all digital, and that's back to the theme of this video. It's easy, as I see it, and this is just an opinion, to erase a span of history, trapping us into a digital movement. Because once the lights is off, once the power is off, there is everything that we did digitally is gone. We're not carving this stuff that we're learning or rediscovering or remembering. We're not edging this in stone so that it can last through the ages like what was done in Egypt. And that's the connection between the two themes. All right? So a lot of us have these videos up, myself included. And if the grid is down, then the information is gone. And those who spent the time that it takes to go through this information will have it in those if those events proceed the way it's showing itself to proceed. And those who are busy watching cats play the piano and girls twerk in restaurants, will have limited access unless they are in the vicinity of those who spearheaded this type of content and this type of research, this type of information. All right, and the use of the internet, the use of the virtual reality, and the use of getting away from writing things, people reading physical books or writing on anything that will last through the ages, can create an environment where a reset is possible and probable with little or no resistance. Just because those of us who've been talking about anything worth discussing or worth passing on, it's all on a digital record anyway. That's not even owned or controlled by us. It can be edited and dismissed at any time, and the whole system brought down at any time. There is I don't think it was TikTok. It doesn't really matter. It sure enough showed up on YouTube. It's like a short clip where a man describes, how his father walked 10 miles to work. He walked 5. His son gets a ride to school or whatever. father drives a Cadillac, the son drives a BMW, his grandson will drive a Ferrari, his great grandson will be walking. It's a pattern, a cyclical pattern. And what he was getting at is that hard times create strong men, women too. Add the pronouns where you need to. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. I'll say that again. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Messing myself up. Hard times make strong men. Strong men make easy times. Easy times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. You got a lot of weak men and they making hard times. The world is run by weak people. Right? Right? And weak people are making hard times. And it's unnecessary. But it's a cycle. And it creates, a probability and along with various alignments for a reset. And all of the information, all of our pictures, they're not regular pictures, they're all digitized. It's real easy to wipe out. Real easy to wipe out and lie to those that will come after us. This is something to think about. These are not facts, these are opinions. I told you, when I tell you truth, I tell you stuff that I actually looked at, and when I'm talking opinion, I'll talk about stuff that's actually in my opinion. And this particular video is just my opinion. It's an observation. It's an observation. There is a society that some of you may or may not be familiar with. I know that Dane Calloway, who I don't give flowers to a whole lot because I don't really talk about the subject matter that he talks about, but it's relevant and it runs parallel. Dave Calloway has done a presentation on Tartarian society. All right, Asir the Duke and his queen have also done presentations on Tartarian society. All right. And a lot of these old structures that are around in various parts of the world, including our country, and particularly in New York and places like that, we were lied to when they talk about when they were built and who built them. Some of these things have been here a long time, and in particularly Georgia, you have buildings that are built on top of buildings. It doesn't really take but you to dig 15, 20 feet to see things that are older than what they should be. We're moving away from opinion into fact now. Roger from Mud Fossils is a great one to connect with on his channel. If I go through, he's in my playlist as well, because he spends a lot of time on. He spends a lot of time on rocks and old foundations in general, and he has also talked about Tartarian society. So Dane Calloway's talked about it, Asir the Duke's talked about it, Roger from Mud Fossils talked about it, and there's been others to talk about it. When I talk to you, I'm not utilizing notes per se, and every time I end this video, I think of 10 other things that I wanted to squeeze into a 10-15-minute discourse with you, where I can talk uninterrupted and you can check out stuff for yourself. If that's something that you choose to do. These digital records are easily wiped. These lights are off. all of these ocean barges that are sitting off the coast of California with spoiled food or other items that are supposed to be shipped that are not able to be shipped because of lack of truck drivers or the stalemates, the stalls that were created in shipping due to this pandemic, scandemic, you know, global agenda is something that I would like you to keep an eye out on and to be prepared for. You know, so like a fire drill. You did fire drills in school. You sort of did them. You didn't expect there to be a fire, but in the event that a fire happened, it's better to have a procedure in place, where to line these people up, where the emergencies exits are, et cetera, or the sprinklers working. You get it. Preparation is better to be prepared. Tartarian Society, from my research, and those that have done the research more in depth than me, that I've allowed to learn just for myself and not talk about. There's Asir the Dukes, for instance. He's been talking about this for years. I've watched hours on his presentations on Tartarian Society and their free energy, etc. And where a lot of that information is where Tesla got a lot of that stuff for his research, is undigging the information about that society and how they existed and how they operated. But it's not taught in schools, and I sort of get the feeling, we're back to opinion now, that we're living in a time that may or may not be talked about in schools in years to come, because it's all digitized and it's real easy. You lose your phone and you have 2, 3, 4 years worth of pictures and videos of your kids growing up and things of that such, and your phone falls in water and is ruined. That information is gone. I take that and apply it to a whole network of information. Gone. You have first world problems. The ladies, I digress for a second. First world problems. Okay? Because all of the things that you, and I for that matter too, think are important right now, they go right outside the window. The lights go off and they don't come back on again. Okay? You have first world problems. Mm-hmm. My mom's calling. I have to call you guys back. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Good day.